So I thought I'd start with a fairly wide view of my desk. Yes, it's a mess, but when is my desk not a mess? I've got various things on here, and we can have a closer look. We have my Demon Prince, which finally got re-undercoated. That guy there, I undercoated him yesterday, I think. My super glue. Logan Grimnar, who is still a work in progress. Let's have a bit of a closer look at him. He's coming on quite nicely, but he's still got a way to go. It's his chariot and stuff. We have a load of whip quills for my Necron race. We have the Chaos Warrior Chosen, who I actually finished over the weekend. Adding to my painting tally. We got the Harlequin, which is the test model for my Harlequins. We have the 5 Death Company, which has got a paintbrush in the way. That's better. We got the 5 Death Company, which I finished last week as well. And that's the base for one of my skimmers you're going to see in a minute. And we've got various other things. We've got the Methylated Spirits, which I use for stripping models, and the paint station. So we have at the back here, we've got 5 Harlequins who are undercoated. We've got my Necron race who are kind of base coated. One's shaded, but I'm going to ignore the shade. We have the Shadow Seer, who's this model here, and the Death Jester next to her. And this is Magnet. This is not Magnus. This is Araman from 30k. He's a Thousand Sun. I fancied painting him. I was like, yeah, let's give it a go. And then we have down here. This is my palette, of course. We've got a unit of Harlequins, which I've started painting. And Void Raven. I think it's called Void Raven. I'll find out as I play games. Excuse me. I have started the purple on them. The Harlequins, the purple is actually finished, and the skimmer, it's not quite. And this is, yeah, this guy here is the pilot. So I'm going for a quartered scheme on my Harlequins, as you can see from this one here. So quartered scheme. So it'd be quite cool. It's not the easiest thing to do, but it looks okay. And then we've got, again, a load of other stuff. This is my laptop. So yeah, so on top we've got the painting award I had, my bits. This is my bits box, by the way. This is part of my bits box, my toolkit, my dragons on top, and my paints with a load of crap on top of that as well. If you're wondering, that is washing up liquid. I use it for scrubbing Forge World stuff. And yeah, so again, my desk is a bit of a mess, but when is it not a mess? So we're going to crack on with some painting. I'm going to reset the camera, and yeah, let's see how it goes today. Okay, so we got the camera set up, and we're going to start cracking on with some painting. I'm gonna put this Void Reaper, I think it's called, to one side for now. Basically, it's the skimmer. This is the top of the hull, which I've got blue tacked to a stand. I need to get this blue tack off. Okay. And we're going to leave him to one side because I'm not sure how I'm going to go with him. I think he needs another coat of that purple. But we're going to paint Harlequins today. So it's 10:15. It's 26th of June. And it is 26 degrees at the moment in sunny London. So again, like I said, this will be done in bits and pieces. It won't be done as a whole hour. So it'll be broken up. Purely because I don't want to sit here for an hour and sweat into my chair. So I'll do one colour and reset, one colour reset, but we'll see how we go. So we're going to start on the bone colour on my Harlequins, the cream, sorry, because it's not bone. Necrons is bone, Harlequins is cream. So we're going to go with a Xandri Dust, and we're going to start base coating the cream colour. I'll get some on my palette. Like I said, it is really quite warm today. Having the lamp on isn't helping, so this is going to be in bits and pieces, and it may not even be an hour, but we'll see. Let's thin it down a bit. Okay. Of course, this is the other downside of it being so warm, is the paints dry quicker. It's a downside and it's plus. It's a plus in that it dries on models quicker, but it's a downside that it dries in the palette quicker. But there we go. And we're going to go with my usual #1 brush. Which I actually need a new one of these, because this is really like not very good anymore. We're just going to start putting the colour on. So I'd actually screwed up with this guy. Let's get rid of that, we don't need that in the way. So this guy I painted purple on the wrong leg, but that was corrected, and the Xandri dust will cover the purple, no problem. We'll be going 2 coats of this Xandri dust anyway. So generally speaking, I talk about my week when I do these. Well, since I last did one of these, which is a week ago, I've not gamed. I haven't been at my club. I wasn't there last night because I wasn't feeling all that great, so I didn't go. Unfortunately, that was our last Monday at the Battle of Britain Club, so I'm sad that I've missed that, but apparently it was a good turnout. There were 26 people there last night, so that's good. And later today, I'm actually helping move the club to the new place. It's I mean, I could do without it today, but I'm going to be one of the people that is there first every Monday, and it's probably best that they get to know who I am or get to meet me before I just turn up next Monday. So yeah, so I'm going down there today. I helped the club move. Again, didn't want to leave the Battle of Britain Club. Kind of like it there, but people in their crap, eh? So yeah, so I'm just carrying on applying this, and this guy here, he's a troop master, but because of the way they changed Harlequins in the new codex, troop masters are now HQ choices. It used to be they were characters in the squad, and now they're not. So this guy is just a normal squad member. He's not actually a troop master in my army anyway. And I quite like how this purple and cream looks on the Harlequins. I know I got sidetracked. I was talking about my week and that, but to be honest, not a lot has happened this week. England had a really good game in the World Cup, if you follow football. I do. I've been a football fan for most of my life. Even used to play football as well. You wouldn't think it now to look at me, but I did. Yeah, England won 6-1. It's just a bit disappointing that we conceded the goal, but that's fine. So yeah, it's been quite a good week. I've watched a lot of football. I've drunk cider while watching football and painting. So it has been a fairly good week. Still not heard anything from my company for the job. What's going on? And I've not even bothered starting to look for a work yet. It will start probably the week after next. But to be honest, like I said, I'm just going to go and work for an agency for a little while and do some easier non-responsibility work. So yeah, I actually do need to get a new paintbrush because this one's a bit not great. So yeah, we've got things to look forward to. We've got the Forge World Open Day coming up next month. It's a couple of weeks away now. Me and 3 other guys are going up there. Should be a good day. We're hoping that they're releasing a certain game, but who knows. That's the bone on the first one done. First layer anyway, it needs a second layer of it because it's quite thin. But I'd prefer to do 2 layers than 1. So going on to the second one. This one's a bit weird. No, I'm going. This one is a female one. She's got like short trousers, it looks like, that only come up to her ankles. But I'm colouring her boots the same colour as the trousers. I didn't really want it to look like I'd just gone, well, I'll just paint cream all here, but it's okay. So yeah, so we're all at the Forge World Open Day. We're all kind of hoping for Adeptus Titanicus to be on sale. I'm pretty sure that all 4 of us going will be after that, but we'll see. You never know. But I'm also after, if it's there, that Necron Walker thingy, the thing that got announced back at the at Warhammer Fest. It's a big Necron Knight sized model. If that's there, I'll probably get that. Obviously the rules aren't available for it yet, but that's fine. So I'm still yet to touch my. One of my pledges was to paint 3 large models, big gargantuan things. I haven't touched any. My what's it called? Lord of Skulls is undercoated. He's actually base coated gold. There's a reason for that. He's Black Legion, but I always find the gold is easiest to paint first and then the black after. So he's kind of sitting in a case waiting to be painted. So I'm really pushing on with my getting the numbers up. So far I'm on 123, which has put me ahead of where I needed to be. I mean, it's not the end of the month yet. It's what, 26th. I should get some Harlequins finished by the end of the month, and if I can get another 7 models finished, it'll put me 10 ahead of where I needed to be on course for my target. And I've had a lot of Instagram subscribers lately, which is cool, and I've had a couple of YouTube subscribers, which is cool as well. Again, thank you very much for listening to me rambling. If you listen, you may just not. Who knows. But yeah, so I'm going to take a... No, I'm not, because I've only been painting for 10 minutes. It's already getting hot and sticky, but I'm going to carry on painting. So yeah, like I said, I've got a fan that's right behind the camera. And I don't think that if I turned it on, you'd be able to hear me. So, I've not got it on. And I'm also concerned I'm going to sweat into my t-shirt, but there we go. On that bus later, I've got to get 2 buses to get to the club later. That's not going to be fun, but anyway. So yeah, the Harlequins. We started at Battlelux. We started a little slow grow thing. Not strictly speaking, we haven't started it yet. We started next Monday, but a lot of us in the past couple of weeks have started new armies, and like I figured, why not do a little slow grow? Like in White Dwarf, they do this thing called a Tale of 4 Wargamers. They get 4 people who are starting new armies, and they talk about their progress. They talk about how their direction, where they're going, and they play games against each other. In a way to help learn the rules, but obviously I don't think they need to learn rules very much because they work in the place. But I thought it would work with our group as well. We've done something similar before. We've done slow grows and stuff like that before. Yeah, I knew I wanted to start painting my Harlequins, because, to be honest, I've lost a bit of my love for 40k the past few months. Playing the same army week in, week out was getting to me a bit. Playing my Necrons, and I painted a lot of them as well this year. I've painted probably about, I want to say 50-60 Necrons this year. Might not be that much, but it's not far off that, because I'm pretty sure I've painted 2 squads of warriors this year, so that's 40 there. And we'll come back to that later, but I wanted to paint something different. And as much as this is again painting cream or bone or whatever, Xandri Dust works up the same way, this does look really different, the Harlequin scheme. So I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit just so I'm actually on camera rather than painting. But so yeah, so I'm hoping a little slow grow like this will help kickstart my enjoyment of 40k again. Harlequins are an army that I was in 2 minds about, purely because everyone's done the whole diamond scheme, and I wouldn't do that because I can't. I wouldn't want to paint diamonds. So mine is a simple colour scheme for my Harlequins. I think it looks pretty cool. The purple and cream with gold. Everyone loves gold. It's a relatively simple scheme as well. It's not going to take me forever to paint. I can get them painted fairly quickly. Fairly quickly for me. When I say fairly quickly, I'm not going to pump out 5 models a day, but I could easily do 5 of these in a couple of days. So yeah, it's fairly quick for me. And yeah, it's gonna look fairly cool, because I've rarely worked with purple before, but I'm liking it. And basically, when I decided to paint Harlequins, it was a choice of Harlequins or Dark Elder. Strangely enough, at exactly the same time, a friend of mine was going to start a new army, and he went for Dark Elder. So I decided, yeah, let's go for Harlequins. So I did. And I bought these quite a while ago. The army's been sitting in the case for about a year. And now it's getting painted. I haven't quite got my 2k army. I had a whole idea. I wanted to paint. There's one model for each range, like each different army. There's certain models I would love to paint. For Elder, I really want to paint a Wraith Knight, but I want to paint it as a Harlequin Wraith Knight. So he's going to be armed with the sword and the shield. Rules wise, he'll probably be given the Alatok Craft World, so he's -1 to hit over 12 inches. People hitting him. So that would kind of blend in with the Harlequins theme. And then he's going to be painted this whole purple and cream quartered scheme as well. And I've been in two minds what else to add to the army, because I want to bring the army up to 3,000 points. And going above 2,000 points with Harlequins is really quite difficult, because you can't, like, you're literally just bringing more and more of the same thing. There's not a lot of variation. You've got one troop choice, which is a troop. You've got two elite choices, of which one of them you can only take one of in an army. So you've got basically solitaires and death jesters. You can only ever have one solitaire in an army. So that's kind of annoying. You've got one heavy support, which is the Void thingy, Void Reaver, I think it's called. Void Reaper, I can't remember what it's called. You've got two HQs. So what I was considering doing was bringing a craft world force that is very much like the Harlequins. So for me, the obvious one would be Howling Banshees. They're quick, they can advance and charge. I was thinking about the Harlequin, not the Harlequin, the Howling Banshee Phoenix Lord, Jane Zar, I think her name is. I was thinking about getting her and like some Howling Banshees. But yeah, I don't know. For at the moment, I'll be just happy to get the 2k of Harlequins painted and see where we go from there. But like I said, I really want to paint a Wraith Knight. And the Wraith Knight we played the same way as the Harlequins. It'll be moving up the battlefield, not really shooting, wanting to get into combat. And to be honest, it's just going to be a distraction, so my Harlequins can get up close and in other people's faces, which they do very, very well by all accounts. I'm going to be starting a blog off. Well, I've started a blog off about my building a Harlequin army. I will link it in the description below if I remember, because I don't always remember these things. And I'm encouraging other people at the club to do this as well. So it's one thing that I noticed is people at other clubs, they tend to have these like online aliases, and they do blogs about their hobbies and their gaming and stuff like that. And as our club, we don't really do that. So I figured, why not push this and give it a go? Might promote our club a little bit more. But we'll see. Right, so I've painted the first layer of bone on all the Harlequins that I've got in front of me. I'm going to take a little 10-minute break to cool down a little bit and let the paint dry, shall we say. I'm going to go grab a drink and I will be back in about 10 minutes. Yeah, and we're back again. It literally feels like it's getting hotter by the minute. Okay, so we've got the bone colours on these guys the first layer is done, and now we're going to do the second layer. So yeah, so I'm helping out moving the club later on. It's going to be very hot and sticky doing that. That's not going to be fun, but we got to do it. It's got to be done. So yeah, water this down a little bit more than before. Right. So yeah, I was happy with what I got painted last week. Shows you at the beginning my 5 Death Company I finished, the Chaos Chosen that I finished, and the Harlequin that I finished. So it puts me over the 120. So in theory I could paint no more for the rest of the month and I'd still be ahead. But I'm enjoying my painting at the moment, which is something that has come up in discussion a little bit of late. If you're not enjoying your painting, don't paint. The more you force it, the more it feels like a chore. If you don't want to paint, just don't paint. Go and play a computer game, or go and spend some time with the family, that kind of thing. And I know everyone says these things and stuff, but there are ways that can get you motivated to paint. One of the ways that I say is probably the best way, in my opinion, is go into a Games Workshop, book a painting station and paint with some friends. Communal painting always helped me when I've been lacking motivation, which our local Games Workshop is really good for that. It's you get to sit in there and talk and have a bit of a laugh as well. So yeah, it's sometimes you just need that someone there to kind of spur you on. And I try and be that guy. I've got a bit of a reputation online for being a troll slayer, shall we say. It bugs me the way that people slant other people in the hobby, like especially when they knock other people's paint jobs. Like, if you haven't got something good to say about something, just don't say anything. Don't feel compelled that you have to always get your 2 pence across. Sometimes it's just keeping your mouth shut is fine. I find more and more that I'm not commenting on things online because, to be honest, my opinion doesn't matter. People have to realise this a little bit, that their opinion on other people's stuff doesn't always matter. So why kick the hornet's nest? Do you know what I mean? Sometimes not saying anything is fine. It does bug me. You get some people who seem to think that they always need to comment on everything. I don't understand that, but some people do. I'm quite selective as to what I comment. Like, I follow a lot of pages on Facebook. Practically every Games Workshop that I could think of around the UK I follow, because it gives you an idea of not just your little community that you play in or paint in, the little surrounding that you have. It gives you a wider perspective on the hobby. And I like that. So I'm going to just grab the second one and just carry on painting. sometimes everyone can get caught up in their own little little bubble of their local community with wargaming, and there's a lot more out there than just your local 5 miles around. I mean, I follow some of the American Warhammer stores, or Games Workshops, whichever they're called. Most of them are Warhammer stores in America. They're converting to that over here as well. Mostly Warhammer stores. Our local one, Uxbridge, is still a Games Workshop. I'm sure that will change eventually, but who knows. And just getting inspiration of what people are painting, I find it really cool. And whereas Games Workshop Uxbridge, the online stuff is, I mean, the store himself, the guy who runs the store himself is fine. He posts an update practically every day about what's happening in the store and stuff, but the community locally don't really post on there. I try to every now and then, probably not as often as I should, but I might make that a bit of a more of a conscious effort to do that. Post updates on what I'm painting and stuff. I don't get in there very often. Most people still know who I am because I was in there a lot before. In the next few weeks, depending on when I start a new job, I may get in there a little bit more. Excuse me, but we'll see how things go. So on to number 4. Yeah, to be quite honest, I don't think this will be a very long video at all today. It is really quite close in here. Yes, I've got my lamp on, and yeah, I've had people say to me, why don't you paint outside and stuff, and I'm like, I don't like painting outside. I've never liked painting outside, and I'm not going to start when it's the hottest, do you know what I mean? So I'm just going to carry on. Like I said, once I've finished the video, my fan will go on, and a bit of music on, I think, before the football starts. I think I'll get to watch one game today, and then I'll make my way to the club. But yeah, yeah, the World Cup's been good. Watching the game yesterday, if you've watched any of the World Cup, you'll probably have watched the game yesterday. They brought in this thing called video assistance referee, or VAR, and the concept of it is a great idea. So it cuts out people blaming the ref for silly decisions and that kind of thing. Yesterday the game made a complete mockery of it. Basically the players were calling for the VAR to be reviewed for every little decision, and that's something that the football will have to cut out. And one of the decisions was, like, again, when they're defeating the objects by having the referee review the VAR. So basically, they had a TV screen by the pitch, and for almost everything he was going over there and reviewing it for like a minute or two, and it's just really is ridiculous. so it's just made a bit of a joke of it. Like, they've gone from one extreme to the other. I mean, in the first England game, you had Harry Kane was being bundled to the floor like he was in a wrestling match, and nothing was done. And now they've gone too far the other way. So yeah, don't get me wrong, it's a great idea. Just having players going, oh, you need to look at VAR every 5 minutes is ridiculous. But there you go. Alright, so the Harlequins are coming on fairly well. I've still got more to do, obviously. But yeah, I've gone back to clearing my desk of setting models out on my desk. Like I did last week, I had the Chaos Chosen, I had the Termagants and Hormagants, I had the single Harlequin, the 5 Death Company, and I got them all painted. I think I set them out last weekend. Not the weekend just gone, the weekend before, I think. And I got all of them painted in just over a week. So I can't even remember. I assume last week I was painting my Death Company on my video. I can't remember. Or maybe it's taken me 2 weeks to clear the desk. I don't know. Either way, it's been done, and this guy's falling off his cork. So I'm really happy with how my painting's going at the moment. And that's the thing. I mean, there's most Mondays I don't paint at all because I'm at the club. And then having a day off from painting, sometimes you're like, oh well, I don't really feel like painting today and whatever. Especially in this heat, like, it's really uncomfortable. But that I sit here and I do this video, it's kind of my, excuse my language, it's my kick up the arse to get painting for the week. Because I want to keep these videos going. Yeah, I want to try other things. I've got a battle report I filmed with a friend of mine at the club. Still, I've got to review it and I've got to watch it through and see how it looks. Because it's all put together. It just needs reviewing before I put it out on YouTube. Yeah, I want to keep the channel up because I've been doing this for 6 months now, and it's been good for me to keep doing it, so I'm going to keep doing it. Yeah, there are times when I'm like, oh, do you know what, I could do this tomorrow, or I could not bother doing one this week, and like today, well, I'm not feeling the best, but it's fine. But there we go. I keep on pushing, and it really does set me up for the week. Like I say, I want to keep painting after I'm doing my video, after I've done my video on a Tuesday. I don't know how work will affect it when I start working again, and like I said, I don't think I'll be out of work long. I'm not gonna go on the dole. Job seekers allowance, not called it the dole anymore. I've never been on that in my life. There's nothing wrong if you are on it, it's fine. But I'm going to go out and start agency work and stuff like that. But we'll see. And this guy here, he's the gunner for the Void Reaper. So as you can see, his guns are around him. But basically, this is the way I undercut models on corks. I also use them as painting handles for when I'm painting. They're just simply 3 corks with a bit of masking tape and a base on top. These are the bigger ones. I've got smaller ones, but they all have bases. I had loads of Terminator bases. They're the 40mm ones. So I don't know how I got that many, but I had. So I just use them as they work for me. They totally work for me. I know Games Workshop put out a painting handle, and loads of other companies do painting handles and stuff like that, and no, the corks work for me. You get a bag of corks for about £3. You can get 10 Terminator bases for about the same price. So for £6 you will easily have, say, 5 of these and 5 normal ones. So yeah, this works. What works? This is what the hobby's about, is what works for you. Don't like, people take advice from other people, and it's fine if you do. If you don't have an idea for yourself, it's not a problem. But again, it's what works for you. And that's my water all gone. So I've been going for about 40 minutes now, I think. And I've got to wait for these to dry. So basically what I'm going to do is, should we paint Harriman? Should we paint Harriman? Now this is Harriman. He's a Space Marine. He's a Thousand Suns sorcerer. I didn't catch some of the armour. He needs a bit more spray paint, so let's not start him. I'm actually going to call it there because it's really uncomfortable painting in this. But again, thank you if you've listened to my rambling for this week. I'm sorry it's only a short video, but I'm sure if you're in the UK you'll understand. I'll be back doing this again next week, like I always am, and I'll report from our new club venue. I may even have a quick intro, show people where we are, sort of thing. But again, thank you very much for listening, and I'm BigFriendlyWarGamer, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Morning everyone, BigFriendlyWarGamer here. Just thought I'd do a little look around my desk before I start painting today. It's quite hot today. It's 10 o'clock in the morning and it's 25 degrees already, so I'm going to do my painting in bits and pieces today because I don't want to be sitting in front of my desk for like an hour with no fan on, because if I have the fan on you wouldn't be able to hear me. So I'm going to do a quick buzz of what's on my desk, and I'll do that right now.